face would turn red when she saw us together after her failed attempts. It was so hilarious. I got to school one day and I got the biggest shock of my life. Jerry, my runaway neighbor, was sitting right next to my seat in class. Jerry, what are you doing here? I ran to meet him, and he met me halfway. He lifted me up and hugged me tight. Wow, he even looked way cuter than in the videos. Brian saw us, and he quickly moved to hold my hand.
Who is he?
Oh, this is Jerry. We were close friends when we were much younger, but he's a huge star now.
Huge star? How come I've never heard of him? Don't mind Tina here. I'm just a chef.
What are you doing here, though?
Oh, I moved back here. My mom wants to spend more time here, and I miss this place as well.
I was so excited that I hugged him again. Brian pulled me back and placed his arm on my shoulder.
It's good to see you, Jerry.
I waved at Jerry as I walked out of the class with Brian. The wonderful memories I shared with him growing up rushed back to me as he smiled at me. He came to my place after school and we spoke for a long time. He told me all about Paris, how he learned to cook, and how he became a teenage sensation overnight.
My mom helped me with everything, and that's why I love her so much.
I'm really happy for you, Brian, and I'm glad you're back. Just as Jerry was about to leave, Brian walked in.
Oh, Jerry's here. I was on my way already. Let me leave you two alone. Good night.
Jerry sounded so cool and mature, and he was dressed well too. Brian and I spent time together, but all I could think about was Jerry. I started spending more and more time with Jerry, and I began to realize just how funny and smart he was. Whenever his brown eyes stared at me, my heart would melt, and I could feel the butterflies in my stomach dancing. I was falling for him, and honestly, I loved it. Brian, on the other hand, had been buying me nice gifts since Jerry came back. He even got me a very expensive car, which I really loved. One time, I was walking with Diane, and all of a sudden, I tripped, and as I was about to fall, Jerry, out of nowhere, caught me. He held me in his arms for a while, and I just stared into his gorgeous eyes. He reached out to kiss me, but Brian walked up to us that moment.
What's going on here?
I pushed Jerry aside and ran away. I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. The day of the beauty pageant grew closer, and I began to panic.
Don't be a baby. We've practiced, and I've helped you a lot. I'm sure you'll be fine.
He sounded so much like a jerk, but he was right. We had practiced so much, and I could feel the confidence building inside of me. That all crumbled when Joy, the witch, accused me of stealing. She would never do that. Yes, she did, and I have the proof. She stole my expensive necklace and hid it in her locker. I saw her when she did it. You're such a liar. Why would I steal your cheap necklace? Why don't we find out if I'm a liar or not then? Open your locker. To my biggest surprise, the necklace was placed on one of the books in my locker. How did it get there? My jaw dropped as the principal picked up the necklace. Everyone looked at me weird, including Brian. My dad and brothers were certain that when I was called into the principal's office that I couldn't steal. They had bought even more expensive necklaces for me, so why would I steal one?
You are hereby disqualified from the beauty pageant, and you must serve detention for a week.
I ran out of the principal's office crying. I couldn't believe it. Everyone would think I'm a thief, and they wouldn't believe me anymore. Jerry walked out of the shadows, and he came over to me.
Hey, I heard what happened. Are you okay?
Leave me alone, Jerry. I know you think I'm a thief as well.
I could never think of you like that, and I know very well you are not a thief.
I'm glad you believe me because no one else in this school does, including Brian. I don't know what to do. I started crying, and that was when Jerry moved closer to me and hugged me tightly.
Just ignore them. We'll figure something out. Trust me.
My first day in detention sucked. People looked at me differently, including the teachers. Jerry then came and made everything easier. We spent time together in detention, and we got even closer. He stayed with me all the way through, and he also walked me home just to make sure I